Okay, hello everyone. It's me, Sanjida from TCL Global. I'm working as an education consultant. And আজকে আমি লাইভ হয়েছি another international অফিসারের সাথে খুব শীঘ্রই তিনি আমাদের সাথে জয়েন করবে বাট বিফোর দ্যাট TCL গ্লোবাল সম্পর্কে অ্যাজ ইউ হ্যাভ অলরেডি নো TCL গ্লোবাল স্টুডেন্ট কাউন্সিলিং সার্ভিসটা প্রোভাইড করে থাকে আমাদের ঢাকাতে মোট 3টি অফিস আছে বাংলাদেশে টোটাল 3টি অফিস আছে আমাদের একটি হচ্ছে উত্তরাতে যেটি হচ্ছে উত্তরা সেক্টর 11 ট্রয়ী প্লাজা এটা হচ্ছে জমজম টাওয়ারের অপোজিটে ট্রয়ী প্লাজার লিফটের 5 এবং নেক্সট যে অফিসটা আছে সেটা হচ্ছে ধানমন্ডিতে লিলিরিন টাওয়ার বিসাইড সীমান্ত স্কয়ার লিলিরিন টাওয়ারের লিফটের 8 এবং আমাদের আরেকটি অফিস আছে সেটা হচ্ছে সিলেটে যারা সিলেটের স্টুডেন্ট আছে তারা সিলেটের অফিস থেকে সকল ধরনের সার্ভিসটা নিতে পারেন সিলেটের অফিসটা হচ্ছে আলহামরা শপিং প্লাজা লেভেল 9 তাছাড়া টিসেল গ্লোবালের ওয়েবসাইটের পেজে গেলে সেখানে আপনারা সকল ধরনের তথ্য টিসেলের 3টি অফিসেরই অ্যাড্রেস ফোন নাম্বার এবং আপনাদের যে কোনো ধরনের সমস্যা আপনারা টিসেল গ্লোবালের ফেসবুক পেজের মেসেঞ্জারও কিন্তু আমাদেরকে পাঠাতে পারেন টিসেল গ্লোবাল মূলত 12 বছর জার্নি শুরু করেছে টিসেল গ্লোবাল বাংলাদেশে আছে অলমোস্ট 2 ইয়ার্স এবং এই আমাদের কিন্তু টিসেল গ্লোবালের আন্ডারে যদি বলি আমাদের ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ পোর্টসমাউথ আছেন এবং আরো আছে ডেমনফ্রন্ট ইউনিভার্সিটি এবং আলস্টার ইউনিভার্সিটি যেটা টিসেল গ্লোবালের আরেকটাই অংশ সেটা আমরা বলবো আমরা এর আগে লাইভ করেছিলাম 3জন রিজনাল অ্যাডভাইজারকে নিয়ে এবং আমরা পরপর সেকশনে লাইভগুলো করছি বিভিন্ন ইউনিভার্সিটি রিজনাল অ্যাডভাইজারদেরকে নিয়ে সো টিসেল গ্লোবাল মূলত সাপোর্ট দিয়ে থাকে স্টুডেন্ট ফাইল কাউন্সিলিং স্টুডেন্ট ফাইল প্রসেস এবং ভিসা সাপোর্ট উইদাউট এনি ফিস সো সম্পূর্ণ ফ্রি অফ কস্টে কিন্তু আপনারা টিসেল গ্লোবাল থেকে সার্ভিসটি পাচ্ছেন এবং খুব সুন্দর মতো আপনাদের ফাইলটি অ্যাসেসমেন্ট করতে পারছেন টিসেল গ্লোবালের এক্সপার্ট কাউন্সিলর মাধ্যমে দিয়ে আপনারা আপনাদের ফাইলটি অ্যাসেসমেন্ট করতে পারবেন সো টিসেল গ্লোবাল নট অনলি ভিসা সাপোর্টটাই দিয়ে থাকে টিসেল গ্লোবাল আফটার দ্যাট অ্যাকোমোডেশন সাপোর্ট কিন্তু টিসেল গ্লোবাল দিয়ে থাকে বিকজ উই আর দ্য টিসেল গ্লোবাল we believe we not only process the files we try to help students to build their careers সো আমি আর ইন্ট্রোডাকশনে যাব না এখন আমি ইন্ট্রোডিউস করব আমাদের সাথে আজকের জয়েন করব ইউনিভার্সিটি অফ রোহাম্পটনের রিজনাল অ্যাডভাইজার মিস্টার গানি সো আই উইল রিকোয়েস্ট our team to invite Mr. Gani to join this session. Okay, so let's wait a minute to join Mr. Gani in the session. Okay, so hello, Mr. Gani, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm very good. It's very good afternoon to you and very good morning from London in here.
Yeah, thank you so much. You are looking very fresh as I'm looking. So, can you please introduce yourselves and tell something about your university to our students?
Yes, hi. My name is Gani. I am the regional manager for University of Roehampton. So I look after a couple of regions for the universities. I look after South Asia, Middle East, and also Africa region. So personally, myself, I'm originally from Sri Lanka as well. So I do understand the mentality of the South Asian students very well. So I've been living in UK for almost 20 years now. So this is a great opportunity for me to talk to the students from my region to advise them about to come and study in the UK because I've done my studies in the UK as well. So in regards to the university actually located in London. So I believe most of the students from South Asia wanted to get the best experience in London as well. So University of Roehampton is actually pretty much in center of the London. Is on London Zone 3, and we have a very very beautiful parkland green campus as well. So it's a brilliant experience. So we do have a good number of Bengali community, especially in the master's program, is being very popular. So I'm looking forward to answer all the questions and take your answers as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind consideration. Actually, first of all, we will move to some questions that we have already noted from our students. Most of the time, students are confused about their entry requirements for UG and PG levels because it's very it's very not convenient for the students to get the entry in all universities. So can you please tell some specific in details about the entry requirements for Bangladeshi students at your university?
Yeah, sure. For if anyone who's planning to join the undergraduate programs or degree programs, we are accepting from the HSC. So anyone with the HSC completed within last 2 years, they're welcome to join the programs for undergraduate level. But some certain programs required some science subjects. For these kind of incidents, obviously, we will offer them the extended program, because we do understand the science element covered in the HSC is not really sufficient as for the UK requirements. But however, we still have an alternative option for these students as well. For the masters, we are asking for either 65% on the CGPA or 2.5 in the bachelor, 4-year bachelor degree as the entry requirement for majority of our uh, master's program. However, some programs may require a little bit of experience. Some of the education related program, we prefer to students to have some education related experience, saying that majority of the students do come for these kind of programs have some sort of experience as well. Again, these requirement has to be taken within last 5 years. So this actually give us a good understanding, because most of the we try to have the similar background of the students. So that's why we actually having a little bit of a cap on the duration. So if you study within last 5 years, that's completely fine to join the masters as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope this information will help many students to know about more about University of Roehampton. So, I would like to request you to tell something about the alternate English test, because everybody will at us know that every students needs some English language qualification to get the entry at the University at UK. So, what will be the alternate English test that our university at Roehampton are accepting besides IELTS? So, can you please tell something about that?
Sure. Let me start a little bit with the IELTS, so you can know exactly where I'm coming from. So, of course, when you come to the UK, you will be studying in English. So, I do understand sometimes you may study in English in Bangladesh as well, but however, you come into an English-speaking country to study in fully taught in English. So, it is a part of the requirement for us to know which level of English you are in. People think, oh, why we need to know English? We are completely fine with it. Yeah, that's completely fine, but the only thing is this: if you are weak in any of the elements of English, so either speaking, listening, reading, or writing, so we can actually provide that additional support. So that's why we are asking students to have some sort of English qualification that show it to us, so it's enable us to actually to guide the student on a way, or in the program we can actually we know, all right, this particular student actually was a little bit weak on the writing section, so the program leader knows the student need a little bit of help, so they can actually allocate this help. It's nothing wrong in terms of doing the English test and showing a certificate. So in terms of the IELTS, just the guideline, because it's as per the UKVI as well. UKVI normally you know publish the guidance based on the IELTS. So basically, for masters, if you planning to take IELTS, for masters, what we require is 6.5, for no band less than 5.5. For the undergraduate level, we are asking for 6.0, no band less than 5.5. They both actually has to be in academic format. But however, I do understand, like Sanjida is saying, there's a lot of scare behind the IELTS. So a lot of people say like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do, whether I pass the IELTS. To be honest with you, it's nothing to be scared, because the thing is, it's just a test of looking at your knowledge. So actually, even for yourself, it's really good to understand like how good is your English, especially when you come to the UK, when you're going to study in full English medium. So just give you a guidance of where do I need to improve myself. But however, to avoid that situation, university actually created our own English test. So basically, so I know for IELTS, especially with the lockdown and everything, it's not possible you to go to IELTS test center
Right.
and do the IELTS, etc., etc., etc. But however, with the our test is completely online. The student can actually register online, and
Okay.
then you can conduct the English test. However, the test is pretty similar setup to the IELTS, because obviously, even it is the university test, we need to know which level you are in each of the elements. So basically, we have to test you in the same way. So of course, it is testing you in reading, speaking, listening, and also in writing. So it does. There is no difference in between. Much of a difference in terms of what we are testing, but it's just to get your scaredness out of the IELTS, so you can actually be a little bit relaxed about how you're going to sit for the university exam, not for the IELTS exam. But again, another advantage of that is this is not a physical test, so you don't really need to go anywhere physically to do the test. So you can actually sit at home in your own comfort and you can do the test. So and also another advantage with that test is it's half the price. So you pay
Okay.
IELTS about 120
Mm-hmm.
pounds or something like that. I think a little bit more nowadays with the exchange rate and etc
Mm-hmm.
etc. So you pay normally our test is about 75 pounds, but of course we have given a discount code to the TCL Global where they can use that code and the test price will go down to 60 pounds. So it's actually half the price of the IELTS. So it's actually give you more confidence as well. So nothing to be scared. That's a university English test. But of course, don't take it too relaxed. I normally tell students like, okay, it's just not because it's IELTS. Don't take it too relaxed because we still have to check your level of English, and we need to be very confident that you are okay to start the course with the level of English that required. So again, another thing people ask, do I need to prepare myself? Of course you need to prepare yourself. How can I get the prepared? Same as you prepare for IELTS. So if anyone right now preparing for the IELTS, you can actually sit there our university exam, no issue at all. It's exactly the same preparation you need to do because we actually test you in the same way. I think that's the best advice I can give you about the English.
Right. It's the best advice that you have given to the students at this pandemic situation who are waiting for the IELTS exam to open for all to register. You can sit for the University of Roehampton's internal test that is actually called OITC test. It will be 75 pounds initially to book this test, but you will get the discount if you apply through TCL Global. So what will be the discount? We will take this term at later. So this is actually the students' phobia, that students are always very scared about the IELTS. So whenever the students had didn't take any what should I say? The students have not any preparation about the IELTS. So, what will be the most resourceful thing to take the preparation for OITC test for Rohanka? So, is there any materials in online that are available to take the preparation?
Yes, if you register for the exam, you can ask OITEC will provide the relevant materials if you want to practice. But I have seen so far with the number of students which is sitting for the exam, majority of them already getting IELTS preparations because pretty much that's the preparation everyone started doing, when they thinking about going abroad. So if you already accessing IELTS materials and if you're practicing the IELTS exam background knowledge, that's completely fine because, like I said, it's testing you in exactly the same aspects of IELTS: readings, speaking, listening, and writing. So it's completely fine. But however, they will provide you. But again, you can actually even do the preparation course like you do with the IELTS. So OITIC also will run small preparation courses as well online. But again, that's not physical classes, of course. They will be online preparation classes, but you
Okay.
have to pay a little bit on additional on these kind of classes. But if you're interested in attending these classes, let us know, and we will actually arrange these classes as well. But obviously, like I said, they won't be physical, so you need to make sure that you have a full online access because I do understand some students might have difficulties accessing
Mhm.
everything online because of the
Right.
bandwidth and everything. So yeah, if you have the capacity, yeah, let us know. We can arrange these as well, but that's for a little bit of additional cost.
Okay, okay, no issues. So I hope students got the idea how you can take the preparation for the internal test at University of Roehampton. So moving to the next question, what is your most popular department and most popular academic programs at Roehampton? So can you please tell something about that?
Yeah, of course. So ideally, the most popular one is, of course, the business. So, and from business, of course, the most popular ones will be the business for the postgraduate. Again,
And the
name
MBA programs for 3 years,
exactly the
right?
naming
Right.
the programs. We have 5 programs now currently on offer with the placement option. So we have human resource management MBA, of course, the MBA is there, human resource management, and let me have a quick look, give me a quick glance of the five courses. So we have the MBA, business management, financial management, marketing, and the HR, the human resources. They are the five programs are most popular within the last few intakes of the Bangladeshi community, because of course these courses actually comes with a placement option. So normally masters in the UK normally for 1 year. So these courses actually comes with a 22 months visa. So it's normally you get about 26 months. So it's just over a 2 year visa for these programs. So it comes with a 1 year placement as well. So that actually shouldn't much prefer to go on a placement. So they are these five being the one of the most popular programs. But same time, journalism, digital marketing, we've been very popular, and number of life sciences courses as well, science of course. And but I would say the other two popular ones so far this year is the LLM, because we have recently introduced like a £5,000 scholarship for all the LLM programs. So these have been picked up in the market now, because there are a lot of students who's in Bangladesh currently studying University of London external law programs. They have their University of London degrees, or local graduates from the university. So LLM is started getting very popular with this scholarship and discount, because this will actually drop the price of the course to about £9,000. So these are the most popular ones for undergraduate level as well. Similar trend so far. Majority of them actually going towards the business related business management programs, then followed by the other. Of course, the computing is there. So then the followed by the other program. But majority of the student actually select to come for master's program, and also smaller number of students coming for education related program as well.
Okay, so that's wonderful. Actually, whenever I talk to any students about Roehampton University, I don't know they have known all the subjects about Roehampton, but they only know the MBA that are offering 2 years at Roehampton. So all the students are very aware about this subject. So that's pretty wonderful, because very popular. Roehampton University is very popular among Bangladeshi students. So moving to the next question, as you have mentioned, what about the foundation courses, and what do you think who mainly have to do the foundation courses?
Yeah, so basically, like I said, the entry requirement for the degree programs is HSC qualification, which is 4.0. So anyone below that level, they are the one who's going to refer to the foundation courses. And also certain programs, we ask for a certain entry requirement. So like I said earlier, for life sciences courses, we ask like biomedical science, biological science. So we ask for A level science in the UK, because they are heavy science programs. So we won't be able to accept the science element of the HSC qualification. So then we have to offer them what we call an extended degree. That's another additional year. That's quite similar to the foundation as well. So anyone under that previous bandwidth from the HSC, and also the courses required specific entry requirements, these students will follow the foundation course. Again, just to let you know, on the foundation is no different, because then if you join these foundation programs, you can actually have the chance for whole duration. You can actually have different ways of visas for these. So either you can select a 1 year visa, then followed on by another 2 year visa, or you can select a 4 year visa in total, or you can have accelerated foundation programs as well. There are a variety of foundation in there. So when you get some time, have a chat with one of the counselors in TCL Global, and obviously they would be able to advise you on which kind of foundation, because students have different preference. So and also different budgets as well. So definitely we can look into these kind of things.
Okay, so that's a very good description about which students need to do the foundation programs before enrolling at undergrad levels. So, if any students completed his foundation from another center, so will you accept that foundation for that student to get in the entry at direct for undergrad levels?
Yes. If they completed the foundation, because there are a lot of foundation providers in the UK. So, is any of the students who completed their foundation, obviously we have a benchmark for these individual, because they all do it in a different ways. And especially when the students and also there are different type of foundations as well, because as an example, I just give you one quick one. So someone might study a business foundation, someone might study a science foundation, someone study a law foundation. So basically we just need to have a look at if the student actually passed the foundation, and also we need to see what is the pass mark, because certain foundation providers have a lower pass mark, some certain foundation providers have a little bit of higher pass mark. So we actually streamline it, so we actually set up a general guideline across all the foundation providers. So we ideally looking for anything about 50 or 60% above if you study the foundation in the UK. And also we look at whether you have covered the English, relevant English elements in that foundation as well. Normally, if you studied in the UK with any of these foundation providers, you normally have this qualification written in your final transcript, or either in your final documentation which you get from the foundation provider. So that's completely fine. Yes, we do accept people from different foundation providers joining into the undergraduate 3-year degrees. But however, just to highlight on that one is, if you're going looking for any specific program, like I said, like science, by science stream, life sciences courses, or other particular science related courses, so obviously we need to see that you have done a foundation in science, not in business. So if you study business foundation, obviously you not cover the relevant elements which required for progressing into the science. So unfortunately, then in that cases they won't be able to join the science. But if you study business, obviously you can join the business degree programs. If you study science, you can join the science or business. So because we can actually accept science for business as well, so that's no issue in there. But just yes, as far as like Sanjida, you asked, we can accept UK foundation providers joining in. We actually do get quite good number of students, because most of the students tend to go outside the London, thinking like, okay, that might be the better option and everything. But I think they get a little bit bored after a little while, and they're like, oh, I want to come back to London now because I had enough of
You're right.
that. So we actually get quite a lot of foundation providers, student actually transferring into Roehampton because of the, like I said, it's just a
Location,
location.
right? Yeah, because location is very preferable for all
Yes.
students. Whenever I talk any students, they must mention about that. Ma'am, I want to apply at a university which is situated in London. So
Yeah.
that's all the time. Okay,
Yeah.
so some courses at we all know that some special courses need portfolio, right? MA graphic design or something visual communication. So can you please mention some courses in Roehampton that need portfolio when we should apply at?
Yes. So basically, if you look at the course on the website, and on the right hand side, it's actually has the course description in that side, because there are a number of courses actually have the uh, profile mentioned as you required a portfolio. So these courses normally have the clear guidance on what, because the thing is different courses required different portfolios. So example, I don't think we get that many. I don't think we get anyone from dance from Bangladesh, but dance also required a portfolio. So we do
Oh,
get,
right.
yeah, of course, yeah. But the thing is, we do get quite a lot. Dance is actually number one in the UK. University of Roehampton dance program is like top 10 in the UK, same as education. So it's
Okay.
very popular among all the Chinese students, because actually do teach a lot of dance elements in there. So of course they do need to submit a portfolio. Look, obviously, some students are like, what it is depends on the type of the course. So of course, I don't think, I'm not expecting anyone to come for dance from Bangladesh. But saying
Right.
that, but however, these actually been guidance on the website. But certain courses actually have the program leaders contact details in the website as well, so they actually happy to assist the students in terms of which kind of portfolio required, because these are some unique ones. Some of the things are they asking for certain things. So some of the students, like film student, as I can give you a good example, like film students, or it's something in drama or things like that. What they do is they run their own YouTube channels. So that's
Yeah.
completely fine. So actually what you need to do is you just send the link and say like, this is what is it. Or digital media student, they do something in digitally, they can share with us, in a files as well. So that's something that you can do. But the thing is, what I would say is, if you're applying for a course which require a portfolio, the best thing would be have a look at the guidelines first before you create a portfolio, because otherwise you spend time and time and time doing a portfolio, but when you look at the course, you're like, oh, that's not they're looking for. So ideally the best
Right.
suggestion is, once you make up your mind regarding the course you're going to apply, have a look, is that particular course required a portfolio? If that's the case, what sort of portfolio they require, and then work on it, rather than just create a portfolio and thinking like, oh, that's not going to fit for my course now. So because creative students, they do tend to take a lot of time to create these portfolios. It's not something they can be done within like a couple of days. Like it's not like a writing a personal statement. So they take a lot of passion, and they take a lot of effort creating these portfolios. So it's best thing that if you have a look at it first, and if you're not sure about it, let the TCL Global know, and obviously they will. The thing is this: we not, most of the time we are not subject expert, but the thing is we can
Correct.
access these knowledge very easily through the program leaders, who's the tutors in the university. They're happy to guide these students. So anything that you're not sure about, ask the TCL Global. Probably you will be allocated into a counselor when you submit your application form. So that counselor will be able to help you and communicate with the university and get the necessary information.
Yeah, right. So that's really helpful for the students, as you have described a lots of things about the portfolio.
Mm.
As you mentioned about the dance, so I remember I checked once a time that MA in dance anthropology at University of Roehampton. So then I see that part that you need a portfolio to apply on this subject. But that time I was thinking that what should be the portfolio that I need to submit to get the entry of this at this subject. So I'm now understanding that you have described that University of Roehampton is very popular for dance subjects. So that's all, and I will take some from questions from our students, because lot of students have asked many questions. I'll request our team to keep some questions on the screen so that I can take some questions. Okay, our first question is Mr. Rajin. He have asked that does University of Roehampton offering any voucher for OITC test? So
Yeah,
can you
like
please?
I said, yeah. So
Yeah.
we do offer that voucher. So the price will go down. So if you contact the TCL Global, they will share with you that voucher code. So when you apply online, they will provide you. Obviously, again, just to reiterate on that one, you cannot just go and do the exam without having an offer from the university. So first of
Mhm.
all, what you need to do is you need to go and apply to the university first, because when you book the OI6 exam, they ask what is your student ID at the University of Roehampton. So that's why the student ID and the voucher code. So you need all that information. So first of all, apply and then get an offer. Then what will happen there is you will get a student ID. But again, like I said, what we do also university will do is, what we do is now the preparation, what we call a precast interview. So you don't need to even sit for the exam, OET exam, until you pass all these things anyway. So yes, we TCL Global have the voucher code. Be in touch with them, they will let you know once you apply.
Yeah, right. So we will let you know how to book your YTC test. Okay, next moving to the next question that have asked Mr. Ataur Rahman Maruf. Which subject is currently aspiring for students in Roehampton University?
Sorry, can you repeat that question? Sorry, I just missed the first bit.
Yeah. Which subject currently aspiring for students in Roehampton University?
Yeah, so basically the mainly it is the business subjects actually, because I think like I mentioned, the most popular aspiring ones are actually the business. The programs comes with the placement option. So like I said, there are 5 different programs comes with the placement option, because I think
Mm-hmm.
for majority of the students, finding a placement, getting a placement, get some experience is the UK is the best experience they can have. So that's they are the courses being very popular, like I said from beginning. So if anyone, and the thing is with these business programs, anyone can apply from any background. So business is something very common, because either you're going to get a management experience, or either you're going to be specialized in. So business actually is very open to everyone. So basically you can actually apply from any background for these business related programs with the placement option.
Okay, right. So I hope you got your answer. I thought you would mention about the dance subject as well, because many of our students, many of our students also wants to know about some specific course or some unique course that universities are offering. I found a student who wants to apply some baking courses, so that was very unique. So dance is also unique for University of Roehampton. So
Yeah. So
students should
actually, there
focus on
are some
that.
unique ones. The
Yeah,
like you actually spot on with one of them, anthropology. Anthropology again, we also have the anthropology. Anthropology is one of the
right.
unique ones, and I can definitely tell you there are a couple of unique ones,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the how the interest in the market is. So basically, the education one. So
Mm-hmm.
TESOL, we offer TESOL. That's actually very
So
popular.
right.
Early childhood studies. That's very
Mm-hmm.
popular. And also leadership and education, leadership and management. So this is actually one of the very very unique one, because the thing is that's actually quite similar to the MBA for the business
Mm-hmm.
student. Education leadership management is quite similar, like an MBA for the
Yeah, right.
students from the education sector. So if you're working or if you have education background, so ideally for this is a management qualification. So basically for the student, we ideally looking for someone with a little bit of a education experience in the back end of their education. So if anyone with a little bit of a couple of at least a year of experience in the education sector, they can actually apply for this education leadership and management program. So that's actually very very unique one.
So I found that your many courses are required some experience. Like whenever students need to apply for MBA, so that student have to some experience on managerial sector. So is it mandatory for all the subjects?
No, actually, our MBA is specifically designed for freshers. So it's
Okay,
actually that's the name of the course as well, for early career development program. So this particular,
okay,
so that's why these actually been offered as the, so our majority of the courses actually does not require any experience. So you can actually come as a fresh graduate specifically for like MBA, because normally we do have different type of MBA, but specifically the because of the market requirement, what we have seen from the South Asia is majority of student actually coming without experience, because it's the level of how they look at the education. In UK, normally students study the degree, then they go out and work, then they come back and do the masters. And in the South Asia region, what they want to do is they want to finish the education first before they go to work. So we tend to see majority of the students who actually study until the master's level before they go to
okay,
the job market. So this is the thing. So if someone wanted to do an MBA, if they don't have experience, how can they do it? So that's why our MBA is particularly designed for the students who's actually
freshers.
graduates. Yeah, so they don't really need
Okay.
experience. Only experience is required is certain level of education related programs, because it's just the nature of the program. You cannot be a teacher if you don't haven't done
No,
teaching.
how to be a teacher? You
Exactly,
don't
yeah.
like
So this is the thing.
sections, right?
So exactly. So basically, this is the reason behind it, that we ask the people, like, have you got any relation to education? Because otherwise, someone can just come off the road and say, like, I want to be a teacher tomorrow. Can I do a master's course and be a teacher? No, not really, because obviously we look for some certain experience in there. So that's why. So
Right.
apart from education, all the other programs, pretty much you don't need any experience at all.
Okay, wonderful. I hope this information will help a lots of students. Okay, next moving to the next question, Mr. Zahidul Hassan Shubo. He asked that if any student refused from the home office, how much is the deduction from the total tuition fees? Okay, that's very impressive questions.
That's a very good one. First of all, we don't want anyone to refuse. So that's the number one. So that's actually good that he actually asked that question, because the thing is, in terms of the other one is there. So first of all, there is no deduction. If you have a refusal, there won't be any deduction, because it's not your fault that you have refused.
Okay,
So we
wonderful.
won't deduct anything. But however, once you pay the deposit and when we send the money back, obviously the if your bank charges, or and if you use the
Yes,
money
some
transfer
taxes.
agent to transfer the money, because obviously then that time we will transfer the money back to the where the money come from.
Mhm.
If you use a money transfer agent or the bank, so it will go directly to them, so you need to get it from there. Obviously we will provide evidence, but if they charge for these transaction, then that's up to, then you will lose some money in there, but university won't charge anything if you had any visa refusal. But however, just to going back on to that point very clearly, to minimize that situation, we actually try our best to avoid that situation. So what we are actually doing is we actually doing the same protocol as the UKVI. So actually we try to follow the guidelines of what the UKVI is doing. So if when you apply to the university at the initial stage, what we call it as a, we give you a what we call a conditional offer. Once you have the conditional offer, one of the condition is you sit for an interview with our
Hmm.
regional team, to prepare for the UKVI interview. So all of you, because what we have seen here is the trend is more or less the student actually tend to get refused, not with any other things, just in the interview. So we wanted to make sure you prepare for the interview very well. And as a duty behalf of the university, my team based in South Asia will do the conduct the interview behalf of the university. So what you need to do is, when once you apply, once you have an offer through TCL Global, actually you don't need to do anything. TCL Global will do that for you anyway. They will book the appointment for the interview. You just need to share the Skype ID, your contact details, and everything. They will confirm the
Right.
time for the interview, and you just need to face that interview. Obviously, prepare yourself, because that is a mock interview, quite similar to the UKVI interview. So obviously, same as like I said, UKVI does not give you second chance. So same
Okay.
same us, there is no second chance. So you can't come back to us and say like, oh sorry, I didn't do my research very well. I have failed the interview. Can you do something about it? Unfortunately, we won't be able to do it, because the reason being you're not gonna get a second chance with the UKVI. So that's very clear. So if you coming for our test, our interview, make sure you prepare yourself very well, as same as you're going to sit for the UKVI exam. Because if you fail our test, the reason we are failing you is we believe that there is a possibility you might fail the UKVI interview test if they do one. I know they don't do every time, but we do think there is a possibility. So because of the risk element, for you to avoid to getting the visa refusal, so that's the reason we will won't let you to progress into the next stage. So that's actually not bad on us. It's we try to do good for you, so you can actually prepare yourself and come back later stages. So that's the main thing.
Okay, so I hope this will help a lot of students to get the idea how they should focus on their university's interview. Okay, so next question, Mr. Arifur Rahman, I have asked that, do you have 2 years PG program for pharma science? Okay, if then what is the entry requirements and tuition fees and scholarship opportunity? So many questions in one time that he asked actually.
Unfortunately, we don't have any of our life science programs are not 2 years. So it's only currently we only offer the business subjects are in 2 years. So but the thing is, we don't have any of our life sciences programs are in 2 year format. But however, um, you don't need to worry about this 2 year thing anyway. The reason being is nowadays the UKVI have recently announced, last year they actually have announced this post study work. So you will
Right.
actually get another 2 years to stay behind in the UK, despite of you doing 1 year or 2 years anyway. So if you are in the life science area or a science sector, so you will still get another 2 year visa once you complete your masters in the UK anyway. So you don't really need to worry about whether it's a 1 year or 2 year, because these business programs we actually implemented well before this new regulation came in. So we actually still continue to keep offering them. So that's an advantage of the business student. But unfortunately, we haven't got anything in terms of the 2 year program for life sciences, a science program. But have a look at the portfolio what we offer in sciences, so you can actually have a look. In terms of the scholarships, yes, we do have a good number of scholarships in place. So we do have two specific ones. Well, first one is a country specific scholarship for a which for everyone will get it. We which is £2,500 off from your course fees. So that's for anyone who's actually accepting a place at the University of Roehampton, and as far as they show a Bangladeshi nationality, that's called country scholarship. And if you have higher higher grade in your degree, and if you can show us 3.25 in your degree certificate, then obviously you are entitled for a £4,000 scholarship. So currently our fees
Oh,
is about roughly about £14,000. So if you get that £4,000 discount, that will drop to course fees to £10,000. So so that's
right.
actually the main advantage. So you are in London and you pay only £10,000 as a fees.
Yeah, and that's a quite affordable for to as the tuition fees. So next question is that asked Miss Jannat Mishu, is Roehampton accept any refusal cases?
That's an
Okay,
interesting one.
right,
Basically, it is generally we don't, but I can clearly tell you, generally we don't accept any previous student refusals. But saying that, we like to know what is the basis of your refusal, if you can provide evidence. So if you've been refused just because you did not submit your financial document correctly, so if you can provide your submission, that's fine, then we can accept you. But if you've been refused based on your interview hasn't been done very well, if you haven't prepared yourself, so obviously in that kind of cases, then obviously no, we won't be able to. So if your refusal basis on something which is not right on the documentation you have submitted, and you did not reapply for the same thing again, or if you apply for a different type of visa, not the student visa, if you apply for a visitor visa and you got refused, then we again, that's not a guarantee, because the reason being is visa refusal cases, we might see a possibility that you might get another refusal. So we actually need to check
right,
your documents individually by our visa compliance manager. So you need to give all the documentation why you had a refusal, and what if you appeal, you went for appeal process, or what's the documentation of the appeals, etc., etc., and when was this, and if it's for university, if it is, then did they issue a CAS, if that's the case, what copy of that CAS list. So these kind of things, so you need to provide as much as information. So again, like I said, majority of the cases we don't take refusals, but if it is none, is it document based, like, because now what they have do it, like, give, used to give point system, they give, or you have submit a financial document. So some student actually had refusal basis of these not being right. So if that's the case, then you can actually reapply, and we can actually look into that.
okay. So I hope you got your answers, because it's very tough when students have any refusal to apply. Many universities are not accepting their files actually. So it's very difficult for them to get entry.
It
Okay,
is, it
so
is.
yeah,
It is
right.
a difficult one. The reason being is majority of the student actually failed on the compliance interview.
Mhm.
So that's where
Right.
the difficult part. So if you fail on the compliance interview, unfortunately we can't accept either. So but if you fail, like I said, if you fail on because you just did not submit, because the thing is sometimes when the students submit a document, or maybe they didn't check the documents were right. So if these the document is not right, then obviously then we can actually get the documents correct. But the thing is, it's again, there we looked at them individual cases. But if you refused basis of any other things apart from just not getting the right points or not submitting the document, then obviously no on our end as well.
Okay, right. So next question that have asked Mr. Atikur Rahman, what is the deadline of September intake?
End of June.
End of June. Okay.
End of June. Basically, the reason it's I'm very straightforward on that one, because the reason being is we actually, like I said, the process actually follows on a different ways. So once you the end of June is the deadline for the applications. So it doesn't mean that by end of June you need to be in the UK. But what I'm saying is, if you planning to come to the UK, you need to apply and have an offer by basically, and until end of June you can apply. After June, because the university will actually follow a process. So once you apply, then you will get an offer. So by end of July, then we will ask you to come for what we call a interview with the university. Like I said, we prepare you. We want to see you that you prepare for the UKVI test. So by end of July, you will actually face that interview within our regional team. By end of August, then you apply for the, because you pass, then we will give you time to get your financial document, everything, you pay the deposit, get your financial. So by end of August, because the thing is university starts on 15th of September, right?
Mhm.
So for you to be in the UK by first week of September or by latest by second week of September. So you need to have visa. The reason why we have this little bit of an earlier deadline is we have seen a number of students actually did not reach the UK because of this COVID situation in the last few intakes, because we have more than one intake. We have three intakes. We have September, we have January, and we have April. So actually I have had some of the students who September started in January because they couldn't enroll or they couldn't reach in the UK on time. So some of the students for a January we try to end up in April intake. So that's the thing. So we trying to our best to minimize these situation, because if someone wanted to come to the UK in September, they really want to be in the UK in September. So they don't want to come in January instead. And it's a little bit of an inconvenience for the students as well. And also the reason being is student has to start online if these kind of incident, if they coming to September, if they can't make it on September. So but having a little bit of earlier deadline, which gives the student a confidence, like, okay, right, I'm gonna reach the UK by the given time. So but still, with the current pandemic situation, we are very flexible, because once you submit the visa even on time, there is no guarantee with the UKVI you will have your passport well before the course start date, right?
Right.
So we want to give you the assurance. We provide all the documents by end of August. So that's why we set the deadline today. If you're applying for visa, you need to let us know by end of August. Then we'll make sure. Because the thing is, you might submit the document by 31st of August. So we won't be able to do anything. It still take a week or so for us to give you the cash. So again, you have to think, the university is starting second week of September. So if you have the cash by first week of September, you're not going to reach UK by second week of September, because you have to apply for the visa, you need to get the visa appointment, etc., etc. So we are still flexible, so you can actually still come until October. But the thing is, the cutoff is end of August. The reason being is, so we know once you apply for the visa by first week of second week of September, at least you will reach UK by end of September, not in January. So this is
Right.
the this is the reason
Right.
we have
Yeah.
this a little bit earlier deadline, just to try to help the student as best as possible way.
Yeah, right. So, for this issue, many students have always asked me what is the deadlines for September intake, what is the deadline for January intake. I always suggest to my students that you should start your process at least 3 months before you enroll. So that will be
Okay.
a great thing to process all the things very perfectly. But the students they are always focused on the deadlines, because as we already follow this tradition. We only focused on the status before our exam nights. So that's the thing, because students always do. When we were students, we do the same things actually. So okay.
I think it's
uh,
common in South Asia region.
right,
I
very
think
popular.
it's not only Bangladesh; it's all which I see. So that's why this time, personally, by myself, I was like, I told my team as well in the South Asia, you need to clear everything by end of July, August time, because otherwise
Mm,
and won't make it. The reason being is deadline there for a reason. And the thing is, it just, to be honest, it's to not to disappoint you. So you will be disappointed if you did not reach the university on time, because you'll be
right,
frustrated. Oh, the flight get cancelled. With this COVID, it is very unpredictable. So we don't want to give you another disappointment on top of it. So at least by first beginning of September, you have your visa or you have your CAS letter in hand, so you're going to apply for the visa. So this is the reason we actually set up these deadlines. Deadline is just a guideline. Like Sanjita, you are perfectly right. You normally give 3 months deadline. I normally tell exactly the same thing. I normally tell students, calculate the time backwards from the start date of the university. So if the university
right,
starts
exactly.
15th of September, calculate backwards. So, what is the earliest date you want to be in the UK? So, if you want to be in the UK, by second week of September or first week of September, that means you need to have the visa in your hand, right? So, to have the visa on your hand, how much time you're going to give to have the visa? So, basically, I would say between 2 to 4 weeks from the time you submit your visa application. So, to submit the visa application to get the visa to your hand on first week of September, that means you need to submit your visa application by first week of August by the earliest. right? So to
Mhm.
submit the visa application by the first week of August, so you need to have your financial documents ready, number one, and then you need to pay the university, number two, and you need to meet all your conditions, especially the English and everything, and the university precast interview. So how long that will take to get the bank statement from the bank in Bangladesh with the lockdown situation? I don't know how long that will take nowadays, right? So maybe about a week or so. So that's the thing. Again, then get a visa appointment and everything. So considering all these things, so you need to have everything at least ready by mid June, July. So sorry, mid July, to apply for the visa for first week of
August.
uh, August. So then you will have 4 weeks and wait and relax until the course
Mhm.
start date, saying, right, my visa is not with me now. It's gone. It's
Yeah.
with the UKVI. So I'll wait until have my decision. So I got plenty of time. So you can even, like I know the Asian community, they like to say goodbye to everyone. So that will take another few more days, right? To adding into
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah, so that's the thing. So once you have done everything, so I think the best thing, like you said, perfectly right, 3 months timeline is perfectly worked well.
Yeah, obviously. So I think one of our last student that have asked have masters for mechanical engineering technology. So do you have any course of mechanical engineering?
Unfortunately, no, we don't offer. That's the only subject stream we do not offer in engineering. That's the only subject we don't offer. But however, in my question, I normally go back to the student from engineering. I say, like, if you coming for masters in engineering, you must have studied engineering for at least for 4 years. So, do you want to do another engineering masters? I don't know. Normally majority of the students from C doing the masters is in the different field. So most of the students actually choose business or other things, because the thing is, there is nothing wrong doing a business engineering masters, because but the thing is, you already studied engineering for 4 years, right? So what is the next step? What are you trying to achieve by doing another masters? So myself personally, I studied computer engineering. My postgraduate is in business. So this is the thing. So I took a few years to decide what I really want to do in masters. So this is something which I normally tell students as well, to think about. Right? Okay, it's fine. You come from one background to do another one, but sometimes if you study engineering as your degree, you might be missing out on some of the management aspects of your in the program. So if you want to engineer, that's completely fine for rest of your career. But if you want to be like a manager, senior manager, director in a company, then obviously you need to know the management aspects of so that's the time you think about, like, actually what I really need is a master's in the business field, or in a management or something like that. So because that actually give you the talked about strategy, marketing, finance, and also talk about people's management, and also these aspects will cover. But if you do another engineering masters, you don't really cover these management aspects. You will be studying more engineering on top of what you already studied. So it is a matter of a question, because the thing slightly different is, people who gather a little bit of experience, they tend to go for different masters for the background where they're coming from. But if you normally, the students are fresh graduates, so that's why we actually created this MBA for the fresh graduates as well, because that's the best time they can actually get a taste of the masters of the business.
Right. So that's actually the truth of that Rohanka is not offering the mechanical engineering.
No.
Okay, no problem. But rather than that, Rohanka has very good subjects that you can try for. Whenever you are engineer students, no problem. You can try for another relevant subject that you are work. So that would be very good if you can try for a relevant subject. So next question is Miss Jannat Me, my one cousin who has finished HSC levels from Open University in 2016. After that, recently he has been completed honors in LLP from private university in 2021. So his SSC by saying, okay, no problem. His I score is 6.5. So is he eligible to apply at Roehampton?
Yeah, so basically what we really need to do is, yeah, the thing is this, this information is completely fine. Only thing is, these are actually very generic information. So what we really need
Right.
to see is, I need to see the certificate, because I don't want to say yes and then say no later on. But if you can provide these evidence with the certificates and everything, of course you can actually talk to one of the TCL Global Council and share these certificates and documents, and they would be able to have a look and assist very quickly. So of course, yes, there is a possibility, but obviously what I really need to find out is that private university is listed private university, and we recognize that university degree in the UK. That's the thing, because there are a certain number of universities. There are many hundreds of private universities all across the world, but the thing is, there are a certain list of universities we accept in the UK as they recognize their degrees. So as
Okay.
far as is that degree is recognized by the UK body as their official Bangladeshi private university listing, then that's completely fine. It shouldn't be an issue as far as it is a four-year degree and completed and everything. It shouldn't be an issue because the student is coming for the master. So I think finishing 2021, so it's just finishing this year. So that's completely fine. But only thing which concern is finishing in 2009 and coming into 2021, there might be a gap in the middle. So we need to find out what they have been doing during that gap. That's all.
Okay. So I hope our students' questions is finished. So I will move to the questions from our side. That you have mentioned many courses that are offering the placement. So does any student need to pay some fees for taking that placement?
Yes, but it's not at the initial stage. So it is a very small amount. It's only £1,500
Okay.
for the placement year. That's the 1 year. That's you're paying
Mhm.
1,500 for a 1 year. So that's actually once you enter to the placement year, that's the time you pay that 1,500.
Okay, so that's actually quite affordable for the students. That's the most important thing that you don't need to pay before starting your course. You can pay after you have completed your course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's a very good thing. And one of the things many students are very concerned about the what are the sports and societies are available at the besides the university actually. So what are the sports clubs and club activities that our universities offering? So not many students, but some of the students have asked that what kind of our activities are offering the universities to the students. So can you please say something on that actually?
A little bit of a disappointment. I think that question should be asked from everyone, because the reason being is that's what you actually should do when you come to the UK. Be part of the society, be part of the university team. When I was at the university, when I studied at the university, I actually used to play cricket for the university as well. So
Oh,
of course, university have Roehampton itself has about 70 plus clubs and societies with the student union. Student union is actually located within the university, inside the university, and university actually have the indoor sports complex, which is indoor basketball courts, indoor and also outdoor basketball courts, tennis courts, and everything. So it is very important that it actually gives you the real life balance of being a sport. You don't have to do professionally. It's just like you be part of the team. You sharing a team, you meet the people, because University of Roehampton is a home to about nearly 10,000 students, and about like 10% of the student population actually represent international students, and they're actually coming from 120, 130 odd countries. So you may not be able to see all this nationality in your class, but you may be able to see all the nationalities if you join these groups and societies, be part of the university community. So there are more than 70 plus clubs and societies within the university, and we encourage everyone to be part of one society or club, or be part of the university team. So that's
right.
that's normally, and even we had professional players as well. I'm not saying no, because we had actually it was she was actually from I think I forgot the country now, but one of the Middle Eastern countries. She was actually professional squash player, and she was number 13 in the world ranking. And she studied business management, and university actually paid her the travel cost for all her for her domestic travel for her tournaments while she was studying, because she was that professional level. So that's the thing. So
Okay.
if you that level, obviously university will take care of you up to certain, not on the course fees element, but for your professional side of it. But if you're not a professional, but still, we highly recommend you to be part of the university team all the time. question should be asked from everyone.
All right. So I would suggest every students to do some research about the university's location and the activities as well. Okay, I have one question from our students that Ishraq Zaman. Oh, that's wonderful. It's my student actually, Mr. Ishraq Zaman. He asked, please say something about the scholarship for Bangladeshi students. I already know you have answered on this question, but I would like to request you to answer again, please,
Yeah, no
for this student.
problem. I did mention it is depends on your program, but we have a different grading system, because the thing is, it's not the same grading system we look at for the undergraduate student to give the scholarship for the postgraduate student. So of course we do have number of scholarship. The top ones are actually, we have the £4,000 scholarship, and also we have the £5,000 scholarship for LLM students particularly, and also we have the country scholarship of 2,500. So we do have all three different type of scholarships available. So depending on your grading, for which level of program you're going into, we will actually assess it. There is no separate the good thing that I can tell you right now is there is no separate application process. You will get it once you apply. We check it automatically. There is no hassle. You apply separately, you're waiting to get your offer updated, you're waiting to hear from the from the university. There's nothing like that. If you qualified, we will give it to you straight away. But at least I can assure you, you will get minimum 2,500 as a scholarship, because we are giving 2,500 country scholarship for all the Bangladeshi national. So that's the thing.
Okay, so I hope you got your answers, because according to your result, I can say that you will get only 2,500 scholarship. Okay, so the next question about that, the accommodation support. So it's very important for Bangladeshi students, because before enrolling, they are very much worried about their accommodation. How will be the accommodation there, and what will be the cost? Before, when they are very excited about the location, but at the same time they are worried about the locations. They are going to be they are need to pay a lot more at London's campus. So can you please explain or tell something about the accommodation support or the prices are offering University of Roehampton?
Yeah, the thing is it is little bit interesting, because the thing is, majority of the South Asian students who come to study in London, particularly, they either have friends or family or relatives in surrounding. So even
Exactly.
I normally tell them 120 times, come and stay in the university accommodation. That's the best ones. Sometimes they're like, oh no, I still prefer to stay with my uncle. I prefer to stay with my auntie. Prefer, or some of their relatives may be already studying in the UK, so they end up staying with them anyway. But saying that, I think one of the best option you can actually have is to stay in the university accommodation. That's something which I normally. This is going back to the same point, like I mentioned about these having these joining the student societies and everything, because your student experience will be amazing if you stay in the university accommodation, because you'll be staying with people you don't know. That's the best you can have. So you're going to talk to a random people in your accommodation, right? And then you will be hanging around with them all the time. So this people's communication will be improved. I know in Bangladesh you don't really speak English all the time at home, even you studied English, but some of the occasions, but you don't really speak. But if you with the foreign nationals on campus, there is no other way you're going to speak in English apart from any other language, right? So this is your communication hugely improved. I have seen number of students actually changed how they in they stay in the university accommodation, because the thing is their communication improved, and their way of presenting themselves improved, because they're completely independent. So you're actually getting ready to be in an independent lifestyle. That's actually very important. That's why I normally encourage a lot of students to select the university accommodation, because another huge advantage here is university accommodation with the Roehampton, because we have 54-acre campus. Accommodation is on campus, and we have 24-hour library. And student doesn't need to worry about going once you finish the library sessions, or coming to the dissertations, coming to late night assessments and everything. Nothing to worry about going home by catching the bus or train or underground or anything. You just walk down to your accommodation. That's the thing. And also with the accommodation, the best thing is the students community is great. And because the reason being is you get to try different type of food. and probably you might end up in other nationalities food rather than the Bengali food if you stay in university accommodation. So that's something very common, which I also have experienced when I was studying in the universities as well. So that's the thing. So I think the best student experience is if you stay in the university accommodation. At Roehampton itself, we have about 2,000 university accommodation places available. However, we recruit more than 2,000 students every year, so there are limited places. But however, for international students, to make sure that they prioritize, we ask them, right, if you want to stay in the university accommodation, you need to let us know by 31st of July, so we know definitely, so we can actually reserve a place. So you only have to pay about 250 pounds to reserve the place. But only thing with the university accommodation is it's not something you can stay for a month and you can go away. If you staying in the university accommodation, you sign a contract. It's normally quite very common in the UK that you sign a contract. Even you rent a room, that you have to sign a contract anyway, minimum 6 months. It's the same with the university. So if you're staying in the university accommodation, you'll be signing a contract for duration of number of weeks, so basically during the term time or etc etc. So if the student coming from master's program, you'll be staying for 1 year accommodation. But that's that, most of the time I tell the student that will be the most interesting time of your life if you stay in the university accommodation. And the good thing about it is you don't need to worry about any bills. The reason being here is university actually cover the cost of all the bills. So nothing to worry about gas, electricity, internet, everything, because you are in the university premises. Everything being covered. Only cost is your food cost, and also you can even opt into the university food plans. But most of the time, students prefer to do their personal cooking, and the pricing actually starts about from 120 pounds per week. So it's actually come to about let me do a quick calculation, roughly about 600 pounds per month if you stay in the university economy. But understand that that's including everything, and having there's no zero transportation cost because you are actually walking distance to your class.
Oh, well, that's actually very wonderful because the university location is very prime place and the accommodation support is also very affordable. And when you get a vast amount of scholarship, your tuition fees will be also affordable. So that's very wonderful thing. So many times students, I know that's not relevant. You will say what will be your answer because we have discussed on this issue on earlier. But it's on students' demand. They have asked what are the study gap? What about the study gap? That how many study gaps you are accepting? So many students have concerned about the study gap and how should they feel that a study gap on their personal statement. So can you please tell something about on that?
Yeah, study gap is something which we look at very seriously in most of the cases. So for undergraduate, if you come from an undergraduate level, the maximum study gap you can actually have is maximum 2 years. For postgraduate program is maximum 5 years. So just to let you know, this is particularly for Roehampton, not for any other university. And any other university may have different study gaps, but for Roehampton, this is actually particularly the reason being is what we have seen there is with the UKVI. How they they should look at the study gap, because if you study HSC and you have more than 2 years study gap, then automatic things come to the mind is what you have been doing for last 3-4 years doing nothing. Or if you studied for a degree or something like that, that's completely fine. But the thing is, within that 2 years, or if the study gap is more than 2 years, let's say you went to the decided to go to the university in Bangladesh, then you study for 3 years, or 4 out of 3 years or something like that. Then what you can do is we have number of programs called top up programs. Then you can apply for these programs uh, rather than actually to start from beginning. Because the reason being here is you are coming if you coming to do another undergraduate for 3 years, and if you already done another 3 year undergraduate program, so you look about you studying about 6 years your degree, your education. So that's a quite long time for to someone to study an undergraduate degree. So this is the reason. So if you study 3 years in Bangladesh, so obviously you are exceeding that 2 year limit. But that cases, we recommend you to apply for our top-up programs. We do have all variety of top-up program offered by the university. So have a look what you studied in the Bangladesh and apply for the top-up program. Obviously, we not guaranteed definitely you can get acceptance into these top-up programs, but there is a possibility. So obviously your cost will be very cheap because you will be coming for your last year of the degree, and then you can actually continue to the masters rather than you spending another 3 years studying. So basically 3 years undergraduate will be going down to 1 year undergraduate. You still have a UK degree in the end, plus you can continue into the masters. So you will still end up in a UK degree and a UK masters, which is brilliant.
Okay, that's actually very wonderful explanation that the students. I hope this how you explained all of the things to the students, that will be very helpful for them, because many students have many confusion before they apply. So students, I hope you got all of your answers, and you get a clear idea. You have known how University of Roehampton is, and how they are offering the courses, and how you can conduct to apply. So all of the things we have covered already. So last but not the least, I want to request Mr. Gani to say something about TCL Global and how we can support students to apply at University of Roehampton. If you can say something on that.
Sure. Actually, I've been working with TCL Global for a number of years now. Mr. Mohan Mia is a I've known for a good number of years. So actually, TCL Global used to work with me when I was looking after the South in Middle East region, because you guys actually have very active operation in the Middle East as well. So definitely TCL Global have the expertise in terms of guiding the students. So I have no hesitation recommending anyone to go to the TCL Global and have a chat with the counselors about what are the possibilities as well. And I think the best advice is, you have mentioned about number of offices, branches, and everything in the within the country. So the best thing is, I think, another best thing is to go to the nearest office to you, talk to someone, once the lockdown is finished, obviously, talk to someone personally, share your concern, tell them about what are the things you need to ask about. So you build a personal relationship with one of the counselors, so actually take it to the next stage, because they understand the university requirements and where you come from. So this can actually get you a better way. And also prepare yourself, and when you go and talk to a counselor, or if you go into to the office, make sure you have all your documentation ready. Don't just take half of it and say like, oh, I will get the other ones another 2 months down the line. But if you're going to talk to someone, make sure you have your personal statement ready, make sure you have your education qualifications ready and everything, so they can actually assess these things directly and guide you, like, okay, this is the qualification you have, we can apply you for this particular course, etc., etc. And also, before you talk to anyone, do a little bit of a research, go to the university website, have a look what is your interest is. So it's actually make the life much easier for the counselor as well, to guide you, and like, because you already done a bit of a research on what you want to study. So that's the best thing. I think the TCL Global have all these expertise, and of course, working with them for number of years. So obviously, given me, very confident in the operation in Bangladesh. So obviously, looking forward to working with you, and all of you as well. And looking forward to see you. Hopefully, this pandemic situation will ease off, coming months after all these things. And yeah, so looking forward to come to Bangladesh as well.
Yeah, well, we also looking very much forward to meet with you and to do a spot assessment for our students. So thank you so much, Mr. Gani, for this wonderful session, for joining with us with TCL, and thank you for all of our students to join with us. I hope you have got all the information about University of Roehampton. If not, then please knock us in Messenger and send us your files. We will assess your file from our expert counselor. So that's all for this session. We will move to the next session very soon. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.